Howdy everyone, this is Nutz, and you're watching a map tour of Micro Polish Map. Hopefully you'll stick around to see what happens. Howdy, 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 how are you guys doing today? Oh my goodness, we get to take a map tour of Micro Polish Map. And this is one of the starting points, so we'll just wander on down here and look at our farm real quick. Now, Micro Polish Map is 146.5 megabytes to download and is available for PC and console. Ooh. It is by Paulwelk20. I apologize right now if I screwed that up or mispronounced it. Now, what I did is I started this game off on New Farmer mode so we can take a look and see what we actually have. For starters, you start off with $100,000. Now, I don't have $100,000 up in the corner right now. I bought some things, tested some things out that I want to show you guys that's unique to this map. But you do start off with $100,000, and with that being said, let's take a look what you start off with in the garage. You start off with a Fendt and a Fiat, two classics that are gonna be workhorses for you, along with another classic, the Bison. The Bison does come with the grain header, and that's it. This is not part of what you start off with. I got this guy to go ahead and test some stuff out, so you do not start off with this trailer, but you do start off with the Strassman, the Butte, the Goat, whatever you want to call it. You know what it is. You start off with a cultivator, and then you also start off with a seeder, the Amazon. All right, so not a whole lot, but I tell you what, there's not a whole lot to do much of anything on this map. It's tiny, guys. It's tiny. Not a lot of space. Here, right here, is your silo. You can go ahead and dump your grains, your fixins in there. And then you can go ahead and get it right out right there. Now, let's take a look and see how much you actually get. I should say, you do have a capacity of 200,000 liters, so that is nice storage, but it's not great. But you know what? It's not a big map. You don't get your root products, none of this over here, so it's not the end of the world. And there is nothing fancy. There is a biogas plant, a BGA on here. I did purchase that right now just for the purpose of doing some testing. We'll go ahead and take a look at the map here in just 1 second, but I just wanted to point out there are no modded crops or anything like that in here. This is what you got. So again, let's check over here on the map. This is the map. You zoom out like this. Yeah, it's tiny, guys. It really is tiny. It is a tiny guy. Now, because we started off on New Farmer mode, this is what you start off with. You start off with this farm right here. This farm right here. This one does the chickens. This one's for the pigs. Both have sleep triggers on them, so you have that going for you. And both of them do have silos. So if you're deciding not to start off in either one of those modes, you still, if you want, can buy one of the farms, and it's not that big of a deal. You take a look at the price. This one's $12,000. This one's $13,000. You do also start off with Field 4 and Field 7. Now, let's take a look at map prices. Now, map prices, they're not very high by any means. They range from Field 19, which essentially is just maybe a 6-meter strip running up and down, and that's it for $5,000. And then the largest one is Field 1 for $42,080. So it's not much of a price difference. Now, you do have the capability of buying all the outside. Oddly enough, Field 3 is attached with all of the outside, and you can get that for a cool $1.6 million. So you do have that option if you want to. I personally would just not buy Field 3. But that's just me, guys. That's just me. So let's back up out of here. All right. Now, you'll see right this line right here. This is a train track. We'll go ahead and take a look at it. You see it looks like there's crops right here. You actually cannot physically travel onto this side of the tracks. All it does is it just stops you. So looking at this right here, here is your chicken coop area. It's almost like free range chickens to a degree. And if you do click on the trigger, which is right here, I want to say, you can hold 40 chickens in that. So it's actually fairly sizable for chickens. It's none of those 200,000, or not 200,000, the 200, 300, 400, 500. That's not the case. You're not going to get that many chickens in here, but it's still pretty decent sized. We're going to walk out the back really quick here. I'm going to put the map up just so you guys can kind of see where I'm at. And this is where the bison is parked. I mean, I honestly don't think you're going to be able to get the bison through here at all. So you'd probably end up having to drive this thing around. There is a little road right here that'll take you out. Right out alongside your farm, so you can take that route as a path. And like I said, you cannot physically pass the the railroad tracks. You can see back over there, they do have crops. I don't know if they wither or anything like that, but there are some crops over there. And then we'll just kind of walk around to the other end of the farm. So this farm here, to me, it appears has a little bit more storage because you have this open storage back here. You have this chunk right up over here. And this area right here is actually your sheep pasture. And your sheep, you can actually, I think it's 10 sheep. Yes, 10 sheep. Now, this is the animal pen extension mod. This is not something that's unique to the map. I just want to make you guys aware that that's what the case is. So you can only fit about 10 sheep in here, but it does give you a little bit of storage around the back side here. Now, I was not able to find where you actually can dump your grains in for this silo. I'm actually kind of curious to see if it's just an output and you can only put the grain in on that side. I don't know. I was unable to find that actual location, so yeah, I'm sorry. I couldn't find it, guys. And there is a sleep trigger right up over here. Now, let's head out into town. I'm not going to jump in a vehicle and drive around just yet, but we're going to take a look at some of the bits and pieces of what's actually physically going on here. Now, here's the wool sell point, and as you can tell, it's a narrow path. I'm pointing this out right now because every sell point, every thing that you can do in town and even out of town, you actually physically have to back in. It's either that or you need to find a tractor with a really good turning radius, and unfortunately, potentially even one of those tractors or the trailers that have the pivoting front or the articulated front, whatever you want to call it. So here is the store along with another sell point. This here is actually the animal. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. The animal purchasing location. If you wanted to purchase it here versus having it delivered, with this map being as small as it is, it doesn't make a ton of sense to do that. I do apologize. It's not a purchase point. You can go ahead and repair your vehicles right here. That's what this guy is right there. So it's all kind of crammed together into one point. Now let's come over here to the BGA. Oh, there's another sell point right back here, and as you can see, guys, like I said, you pretty much have to back into everything. It's super small map. Now here is the BGA. Let's take a look at the price of the BGA really quick. Shoot, I got the save on. The price of the BGA is not super expensive. It's only $7,000. Well, $7,488. So that's not a bad deal. There is also a lime fill station in there, so you can go about doing that. And actually, I think I seen it said there's a gas station back here. Yeah, I'm not sure. If you take a look at the map, it does. I'll put the map back on just a second. It does say there's a fill-up point, but I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it. I'm not sure what's going on. That's okay. Um, so, as you can see, I have a little operation going on right here. We will hop in here to get this to continue. There we go. It'll continue to pick this up, and the BGA has a capacity of 50,000 liters. Now, I drove around in here trying to get a trigger, trying my hardest to avoid doing this, but I was unable to activate a trigger. Maybe I'm missing the location of where you actually have to do it, but if you want to do this, you do definitely have this option. Now, you would say that this is not a very practical matter, but if you take a look at this over here, you do have these two bunker silos right here. You could potentially, through belts and systems, have it set up where you can actually drive your belts back into here, pick up all your silage, and dump it up into the, I don't know, the processing center, the BGA. Just coming over here. Yep, as you can see, it did get up to 50,000, and it is starting to come back down right now. So that's that. This trailer that I have right here, this is the one that does not come with a map. So we'll just kind of drive around now and take a peek and see what's going on here. All right, so these fields here are all super, super tiny. Even just driving around in this tractor, it kind of feels like this tractor's even too big for this map. As silly as that sounds, that's kind of the general feeling of everything. It almost feels like everything is just so big. I mean, you take a look at the size of these fields here. Yeah, they're long and everything, but there's almost nothing to them. One thing I did not test, and this is something that I wish I could have, and I apologize if you guys want to know. I did not test to see if you could plow these together. That is my bad. That is completely my bad, guys. I messed up on that one. So let's continue to drive around here and see what's going on. And I believe this is going to be the edge of the map right here. Yep, that's the edge of the map. So we got that going for us. I did want to go ahead and drive over to Field 1 for one particular reason. Field 1, when we get over there, you'll take a look at it. It does show that there's quite a bit of forestry that you can potentially get. So here's Field 1. We will hop on out of here really quick. We'll hop onto the map, look and see what we can purchase. And as you can see, Field 1 has the capability of buying all of this back up here. Now, it's kind of deceptive if you take a look at the map. We'll get up here as far as we can go really quick here. That's as far as we can go. So it's kind of deceptive on how far you can go physically back in here, but it at least allows you to get up in there. And this chunk of land is one of the ones that you potentially could do some forestry on. It's not going to be large-scale forestry by any means, but it's going to be okay for what you got going on here. So we'll go ahead and hop back in here. And we're going to drive just a little bit farther here, take a look at this woodshed, and then we're going to actually tab over. I got another vehicle set up just down the way. So we got the nice little bridge here. Obviously, this bridge is super, super narrow. If you own any of these fields over here and you want to get going this way, you really have to pick what you're going to have. I mean, I really doubt that you guys are going to be able to use big equipment at all. It's just not possible on this. Now, the reason why I came over here is because you have your wood sell points, and again, like everything else, I think if you really wanted to, sell logs, because I think this right here is the wood chip area, and this is where you actually physically sell the logs. You are going to have to try and I don't know. I don't know if backing it in this way that I'm driving out right here is the best, or if backing up right in this area right here is the best. I'm not 100% sure. If you have one of the mods that allows you to delete some scenery, maybe deleting this out of the way would make it easier for you. But they definitely don't make it easy on us one way or another to maneuver around this map. So, I mean, we're just going to have to try and do the best that we can. All right, so what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to come over here and take a look at this one, just to kind of give you a demonstration of what's happening. Now, this is one of the wider roads that you'll come into, but as you come into this sell point here, you have two options. Either you can kind of use the same trailer size as I have, or you can get super fancy and get one of the articulating trailers, which, you know, honestly, this map might be the only map I've ever really come encounter with that might make sense for some of the sell points to doing. I mean, obviously, this is being one of the starting tractors. You don't have a lot of maneuverability with this one, but even if you had one that had a little bit more maneuverability, you'd still be struggling trying to get yourself around here. I mean, it does work. You can get out, but still, like I said, it's kind of a pain. The other thing that you're going to want to look at here is you could potentially back in at that point if you're getting a larger trailer. But honestly, guys, taking a look at all of these fields here, there really is not much output that you're going to end up getting unless you decide you're going to try and buy like this whole section right up here. Maybe you decide I'm going to buy this whole section right here and make it into one field. Even then, I don't think you're going to necessarily need to get large equipment on this one at all. There are some rolling hills. There's not much. It's kind of decent. It's okay. But I just want to come over here and show you this. This here, this strip is field 19. This is the one that's $5,000. And even with that being said, you're probably going to want to get rid of this tree if you have that capability, just because it's insane how narrow, how small this field is, what they're calling a field, and it still is going to be difficult to navigate. Even once you get over to these edges over here, you're going to have problems. Oh my gosh, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at this map from the sky using our fancy, handy-dandy Mary Poppins mode, as I like to call it. And let's fly up in the sky and, well, let's click the right button first. There we go. Let's fly up in the sky and see what's going on. Now, that's what I was talking about over there. It shows that those crops are there. You cannot physically get over there and do anything with them. Maybe as a potential, they might expand onto this map. I don't know. As you can see, that's kind of what is all available for the map maker at some point to go ahead and do something with. I don't know if it'll happen or not, but this is kind of a general overlay of what you're going to be dealing with. You have small, narrow fields that are going to be difficult to navigate in town. Even out here when you're doing your farming. Like I said, this is that plot I was talking about. I don't know if you could do it. You'd have to cut down all these trees, grind all the stumps up, and plow the whole thing under. I mean, I don't know what else you could do if you're looking for a larger scale setup. Now, if you're looking for just well, you know what? I just want to raise my 40 chickens and my 10 sheep. This is a perfect map for that. If you like small equipment, this is a perfect map for you. All in all, guys, it's not a terrible map. I'd actually say to play on this map would actually be a great challenge. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. Everything's super cheap and all this, but just the sheer tightness of everything, the navigational challenges that you're going to run into just blows my mind. I honestly, I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe it. I would definitely struggle on this one, that's for sure. Oh boy, but guys, this is where we're gonna end up saying our goodbyes. But first, I want to say if you guys kind of liked what you seen, turn on the notifications. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Smash the like. I would appreciate it, guys. Seems like a pretty darn good map. I know I'd get my butt kicked. That's for darn sure. Thanks for stopping by.